from the beginning, I always dream about buying something in Miami and convert it to something. The person that gave me the opportunity to work a whole building, a whole listing, was Harry Hensley. I don't know where did it come the idea to write to this billionaire. But I wrote him a letter explaining, my father has been ambassador in the United Nations, I know the different mentalities of the countries in South America, I also have my liaisons with other parts of the world. I said, of course. So I met him, they liked me, they gave me the job, and that was my first listing in that time of $65 million. That was my beginning in this beautiful city, in my magic city, like I call it.
It's wonderful to be able to work with your mother, which obviously, is always such a special person in everyone's life. And then what better partner can you have than your sister? It was the idea of, families staying together and helping each other out. It wasn't a question of, do you want to do it? It was just a question that's what we did. You stay together and you come to this great country and you see that your parents are putting such an incredible effort to doing the best they can for you, and you just participate in that effort without really asking questions. Just do it.
I started getting more and more involved in the company, and in fact, Mom's vision of creating a platform to service developers. And she understood that while developers were very good at building buildings, they were not very good at selling them. They weren't very good at marketing them. Their strategies were off. It wasn't their focal point.
And if you've ever had a chance to be with my mother, I've never met a better salesperson. So she has this ability to sell things very well, whether it's an idea or a condominium. And that platform that she created just answered so many of the questions that developers knew they had to do, but weren't quite sure that anyone could do it for them until Mom came up with this model.
And in fact, we were the first to do it in Miami. Miami was the first city that ever did it, and it's a model that has been adopted all over the place now because it just works so well. When we talk about urban warriors and making things happen, I think that, as you heard, Miami was not urban at all. It was quite a horizontal city, and Mom had that vision of seeing a vertical city where there was none. And I think as we started really in Brickell, because we went from one building to another, and as it just went from, homes literally before our very eyes were transformed into buildings, and in good cases, the homes would become the common areas. So that journey of urbanizing the city was kind of in our journey. And certainly Veronica's in mind from the beginning, because we started when Mom was at that point. It's a tremendous honor for us. But for me, the biggest gift is that I can sit here and we can share this together. It's just such a beautiful moment that Mom is here, still present, still working, still adding, still creating, and supporting Veronica and I, and we in turn are supporting her in keeping this journey of urbanism and of helping our city grow. So the honor for me is triple because we're here sharing it together. It's very special, and I'm very grateful.
Well, I think one of the wonderful things when a city grows is that you have organizations that start having the ability to look at their city and said, we actually have great architecture, we have great buildings, and the rest of the world comes to Miami to look at our buildings. So for us to be able to share, we think this is a shared award with the institution that the Urban Warriors is and has created, and the participation that we've had in selling these buildings.
And at one point when we started getting this huge influx from people outside, I said, I think we need to put together a statement that defines who we are as a city. Because people kept saying, oh, it's the new New York, or it's the new this, or it's the new that. And I said, no. It is the great Miami, the magic city. And whenever they tell me that it's the new this or the new that, I said, no, we are the magnet that has attracted all these people from all of these other places to continue to evolve this great city. So I would say, let's not lose our identity and the things that make us great, because we are what every city in the world wants to be, and we are that way organically.
I think one of the strengths of the city is when you see the young people who grew up in Miami, they go away to college, and then they come back. That's such a signal that a city is going in a positive direction. So for all that young generation that's coming back after having been exposed to so many other experiences, what a wonderful city. It must be absolutely fantastic to be young and in Miami.
And I say the wonderful thing about being a Miamian is that all we expect is for you to add when you arrive. And we all remember arriving, because almost you go into a room and you say, how many people were born in Miami? You get 3 hands out of 300. Everybody remembers arriving. So whether you bring a smile, an idea, a concept, $0 or $1 billion, as long as you come here to add, you're more than welcome, and you are going to add, because this is a city of endless opportunities. But you have to get involved and do things.